Hello CSI135 Introduction to Linux students. This tutorial is going to give you a quick overview of the mail utility on the Linux operating system at our school, vader.aacc.edu. So again, to start the mail utility, you can simply type mail and then hit the enter key. As you can see, since I have no mail, it's going to come up and let me know no mail for CSI135 B25. At this point, we're going to go ahead and create a mail message. I'm going to type mail space -s, and the -s stands for the subject, and I put the subject in double quotes if and only if it's longer than one word or if there's any spaces in there. So if I put "this is my subject," I would need to enclose that within double quotes. If I don't, the shell and the command line are going to interpret the spaces, anything after the first space, after THIS, after this, that space right there, is here would be interpreted as an argument to the command. So, and who am I going to send it to? I'll send it to myself, 135B25, right? So I'll hit enter, and right now I'm in the compose portion of mail. And again, Linux does not tell you that you're in the compose portion. You need to know you're in the compose portion. So this is my mail message, right? Now, in order to send this message, I'm going to put a period on a line all by itself and hit the enter key. Now, you'll see that it pops up and it says, do you want to carbon copy somebody? Well, for this example, I'm not carbon copying anyone, so I'll just hit enter. And now that mail has been sent. So now when I type, mail and hit enter, you can see that I've got a lot of information here. So the mail version 8.1, you can see where the mail is kept. var spool mail CSI135B25. It states I have one message and that the message is new. The one message is new. Now you can tell it's new because it has a big N in front of it, right? You can also tell that if I were to hit the enter key, because of this greater than sign, this is my current message. So if I hit enter and I had multiple messages, the message that would be displayed would be the one with the greater than sign in front of it. It shows you the date and time that the message was sent, or I'm sorry, received. It also shows you the size of the message in bytes. And here's the subject. This is my subject. So now if I read this message, and I can do that by hitting the enter key, you see some additional information. You see who the message is from, right? When it was sent. I can see the subject again, the date. I can also see any additional information that that user may have listed for them in the etc password file would show up here. And then this is the body of the message. So now you'll notice I'm at the ampersand prompt. And so this is sort of the command line for the mail utility. So if I type H and hit enter, it'll display a list of the current message headers. More importantly, if I do the question mark and hit enter, it's going to show me a list of all the different commands that I could run from the ampersand prompt. Now, to quit from mail, I could type Q, but if I type Q, keep in mind that it's going to quit and it's going to save unresolved messages to a file called inbox. So let's try that. So if I do Q and hit enter, now when I type mail, you'll notice it says I have no mail, but that's because I entered Q, and Q will save any unresolved messages in inbox. So if I type ls, I would expect to see a file called inbox, and there it is. So I can type cat inbox, I could type more inbox, right? I could even VI inbox if I needed to. But the most convenient way to read the inbox file, since these are mail messages, is to use the mail command with the -f, and what I'm telling it there is this is the file that I want mail to read, and I'll type in inbox. So as you can see, the inbox file, when you use Q to exit, email would be saved off into the file called inbox, MBOX. And sure enough, here's the email message that was just sent. Let's take a look at an alternative. If I were to send an email message to myself again and put down "this is message 2," and then I'm going to send it again. When I type mail, I should see that there it is. I have a email message from myself. So I could type in, if I had multiple messages, because of the greater than sign, I could hit enter. But if I had multiple messages, I could also type in the number of the message displayed. And I'm going to do that when we get up here. You see we have 6 messages up here in the inbox. So when I type in 1 and hit enter, there's my message 2. Now, if I do the question mark again and hit enter, you can see that Q will quit, saving unresolved messages to the inbox, but X will quit and do not remove system mailbox. So, if I use X to quit, and then I try to type mail again, you can see that the mail message is still here. In fact, it still shows that it's new. You notice that? The capital N there, right? So it still shows that it's new. So there's 2 ways that you can quit from reading your email. Q, which will move all read emails into the file inbox, and then X, which will quit you out, but it'll leave the email message still in the inbox. So if I hit enter, we can see it's message 2. I'll use Q this time to quit out. And then we'll see if I type in mail, I have no mail, but if I take a look at my inbox file, sure enough, there's the second message that was sent. So now, since I'm here, if I hit enter, I'm going to see this first email. So let me hit enter to show that yes, it shows me the first email because the greater than sign indicates that's the current message. If I type H, the greater than sign is still there, but let's say I wanted to read message number 7. The message that I just sent. All I would have to do is enter in the number 7 and hit enter. And there's message number 2. So now when I type H to list the headers out, you can see that the most recent message that was read is now the current message. Right? So the greater than sign has moved to the message I just looked at. So if I looked at message number 4 by typing in 4 and hitting enter, again we have a list of who's logged onto the system, and that was what was in that email. Now I type H to see the mail message headers, and as you can see, the greater than sign has now moved to message number 4. So that is now the current message. Alright, that was just a quick tutorial on using the mail utility on the system vader.aacc.edu.